All right. I am your host, Austin Mueller, for the Seven Principles of Learning podcast. Today, we're going to go through our entire class, looking at all the different things we learned, and put them in, categorize them within one or two of the seven principles of learning. Get out of here, dogs. All right. So basically, let's go over what those seven principles are really quickly. Learners at the center, the social nature of learning, emotions are integral to learning, recognizing individual differences, stretching all students, assessment for learning, and building horizontal connections. So those are our seven. If I were to draft these from because I'm a sports guy, I like to draft everything. If I was to draft them, my number one overall pick would have been the social nature of learning, just because that's how I learn the best. So, and I feel that's the best way to learn is the most fun way to learn. And I'm a kindergarten teacher, so All right, so so I went through it, basically everything that we did in the class this year, including a lot of the websites, and basically kind of pulled from that, and let's see where they led. I did the tally already. I won't give out the results, but it shouldn't be that surprising. So the number one, concept-based learning, that I think that falls within recognizing individual differences and building horizontal connections. So it acknowledges diverse learning styles and it aims to create a broader understanding by connecting concepts across subjects or disciplines. Competency-driven learning. Typically, it falls under assessment for learning, and it focuses on assessing and developing specific competencies or skills. So it's about ensuring students acquire the necessary skills and knowledge to succeed. So that's where I put that one. Guided learning. I think that should be associated with learners at the center and the social nature of learning. It emphasizes the personal guidance for learners and recognizes the importance of social interaction and in the learning process. Action learning. I think that aligns with the social nature of learning as well, and building horizontal connections. It kind of emphasizes learning through collective problem solving and real world experiences, fostering collaboration and horizontal connections among participants. Experiential learning. I think that primarily fits into the social nature of learning, and emotions are integral to learning. It emphasizes learning through direct experience, obviously hands-on activities and real-world situations that engage both emotion and social interactions. Growth mindset. I think that closely relates to emotions are integral and recognizing individual differences. It involves cultivating that positive attitude toward learning and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, recognizing that individual abilities can be developed through effort and perseverance. Impact of fear. This one's an easy one. That's going to be associated with emotions are integral to learning. Fear can significantly influence the learning process, affecting motivation, engagement, and the ability to absorb new information. Understanding and addressing these emotional aspects are I think they're crucial for effective learning. And on the flip side, the impact of praise, that's obviously also going to fall under emotional learning. Dogs, can you not growl right beside me when I'm doing my podcast? Thank you. Praise can influence learners' emotions and motivations just like fear can, and shaping the attitude towards the learning process. Obviously, positive construction praise can enhance motivation and engagement even more. And we get the gist. It's the flip of fear. Hey, dogs, get out. Get out. No fighting on the bed. Go somewhere else to do that. Go on. Jeepers. Sorry. Where are we? Social and emotional learning. That's pretty obviously, that's going to fall into the social nature of learning, and emotions are integral to learning. I think social emotional learning emphasizes the development of social skills, self-awareness, and emotional regulation, recognizing the interconnectedness of emotions and social interactions and a learning process. Influence of parental beliefs on a child's learning experience. I think that's related to the individual recognizing individual difference, parental beliefs. Skipped. Yeah, that's right one. Oh my gosh, I do not want to start over because I'm 5 minutes in. Go away, dogs. Sorry about this. Where was I? Influence of parental beliefs on a child's learning experience. That's recognized the social individual differences. Parents' beliefs can shape a child's learning environment and attitudes towards education, contributing to understanding that learners have unique needs and backgrounds. So, yeah, parents, they can affect a lot of stuff. Indigenous ways of knowing. I think that often falls on recognizing individual differences and building horizontal connections. It acknowledges that diverse perspectives and values and promotes holistic understanding of knowledge that extends beyond traditional academic boundaries. Creating a culturally responsive classroom. I think that aligns with recognizing individual differences and the social nature of learning. I think cultural classrooms emphasize understanding and respecting diverse backgrounds and fostering an inclusive learning environment that values the contributions of all students. Gender bias. I think it's closely linked to recognizing individual differences as well, and may intersect a little bit with the social nature of learning. It involves understanding and addressing biases related to gender to ensure that an inclusive and equitable learning environment is available for all students. So, yeah. Student positive norms for the classroom. I would associate that with the social nature of learning. It emphasizes the importance of creating a positive and supportive social environment with the classroom, fostering healthy interactions and collaborations among students. Inclusive education falls primarily under learners at the center and recognizing individual differences. It emphasizes creating learning environments that, oh my gosh, these dogs, hold on 1 second. Dogs, out. Get out. Come on. No more. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so where was I? Inclusive education. I think that's learners at the center, recognizing individual differences, and yes, accommodating for diverse needs and abilities of all students, promoting equal opportunities in learning and lots of participation. Reaching English language learners in math. I think that aligns with learners at the center and recognizing individual differences. It emphasizes support for students with diverse language backgrounds, ensuring they have equitable access and success in various in other subjects, not just learning their language. They gotta have a chance for everything. Supporting introverted learners. I think that goes with now he's barking. Oh my gosh. What's the lesser of two evils here? Okay, lesser of two evils. He's in here jumping on me. This is a gong show. Come on, dog. No more being silly. He's a pup. That's the problem. He's my co-host. Casey and Finnegan are the co-hosts here. He thinks he's a puppy. Okay, come on. That commercial break is over. We're back. Supporting introverted learners. I think that's associated with learners at the center and recognizing individual differences. It involves creating an environment that acknowledges and accommodates the preferences and needs of introverted students and allowing them to thrive in their own way. Identifying dyslexia. I think that falls under recognizing individual differences. You got to recognize and address specific learning differences related to math abilities and people with dyslexia. My brother had that. I wish he would have had a teacher that knew. I think the teacher failed him because he thought he was fooling around and he really just saw numbers upside down and backwards. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. If he had the appropriate support and accommodations, then he would have been great if they could have identified him. But that was back in like the 70s and 80s. So, writing individualized education program, IEP goals. That falls under learners at the center and recognizing individual differences. You got to have tailor-made plans that will meet the unique goals in individual students and ensure that they have a learning experience that is personalized and supportive. Parent-teacher conferences. I put that one under the social nature of learning and learners at the center. I think these conferences provide an opportunity for communication and collaboration between parents and teachers, fostering a supportive social environment around the student education. Using children's literature for math and understanding. I think that aligns with building horizontal connections. Involves integrating diverse learning materials such as literature from different subjects and enhances the students' understanding of math concepts in a broader context. I love to do that in kindergarten because they love their stories and it's great. Representing mathematics visually, I think that falls under building horizontal connections and possibly learners at the center. Visual representation enhances understanding, connecting mathematics in a concept that would cater to diverse learning styles and individual preferences. Applying universal design for learning, the UDL. I associated that one with learners at the center and recognizing individual differences. UDL aims to provide flexible learning environments that accommodates diverse learning needs and styles, ensuring accessibility and inclusivity for all students. Place-based and outdoor learning. I love this because I put my son in an outdoor school. That goes with the social nature of learning and building horizontal connections. It emphasizes learning in real-world environments, connecting with community and nature, fostering a holistic understanding of subjects. So, great stuff. Engaging students digitally. I think that primarily falls under building horizontal connections and learners at the center. It involves leveraging digital tools to create interactive, personalized learning experiences, fostering collaboration and adapting to diverse learning preferences. Learning to code often falls under building horizontal connections and learners at the center. I think it emphasizes the development of a versatile skill set, connecting various disciplines and allowing students to explore and create things based on their individual interests and goals. So very individual kind of thing, learning the code. It's not really a team thing. Play-based learning. This is my go-to. That aligns with learners at the center and social nature of learning. It recognizes the importance of play in the learning process, allowing students to explore, interact, and develop social cognitive skills in a more relaxed and enjoyable setting. Engagement through curiosity. That aligns with learners at the center and recognizing individual differences. I think it emphasizes the importance of nurturing students' curiosity, interest, and tailoring learning experiences to encourage exploration and individualized pathways. Learning mathematics socially. I think that's pretty obvious, the social nature of learning. And also building horizontal connections. It involves collaboration, learning experiences where students interact with peers to deepen their understandings of mathematical concepts and see connections between math and the real world. Prompting mathematical conversations, that falls again under the social nature of learning. And building horizontal connections. It encourages students to engage in discussions, fostering a social environment where they can share ideas, collaborate, and deepen their understandings of math concepts. Facilitating discourse through questioning. Again, social nature of learning and building horizontal connections. Basically, a lot of the same stuff here. Fostering that social environment and deepens understanding, allows for that diverse perspectives to be explored. Assessing in many different ways, or different kind of assessing. That one is recognizing individual differences, because it involves using diverse assessment methods to accommodate for different learning styles and provide a more comprehensive understanding of students' abilities, and obviously assessment as well. The 5 strands of mathematical proficiency aligns with assessment for learning and building horizontal connections. They involved comprehensive approach of assessing mathematical proficiency, considering conceptual understanding, procedural fluency, strategic competence, and adaptive reasoning, and productive disposition. So, more good assessment stuff. Last unit, a lot of assessment. There's no recency bias for me. It's not close to my favorite assessment, but a necessary evil. It's important. Assessing proficiency levels using the depth of knowledge, or DOC. That falls under assessment for learning. DOC is a framework that categorizes the complexity of thinking required by assessment tasks, helping to assess and guide learning effectively. Asset-based assessment. I like this one, actually. This one falls under learners at the center and recognizing individual differences, because it involves recognizing and assessing students' strengths and their talents and assets, aiming to build on their existing capabilities for a more personalized and empowering learning experience. Gathering evidence of student learning. That falls under assessment for learning. It involves collecting various forms of evidence, such as assignments, project, and assessments, to understand and support students' progress and guide instructional decisions. And the impact of assessment on a student. This one's kind of cool. Whether negative or positive, I think this falls under emotions are integral to learning, and obviously assessment for learning. It involves recognizing and addressing the emotional aspect of assessment, understanding how it can influence students' motivation, confidence, and overall learning experience. There we go. We did it. So let's look at the scoreboard. I did tally it up earlier. Unfortunately, my favorite, the social nature learning, did not get the win. They got on the podium. They got third place. We'll go to the top first. Recognizing individual differences was number one. In my opinion, it got covered 16 times. More than that, obviously, but I just did the top two for everyone. Learners at the center came in at second at 14. Yeah, man, I see a trend here. Focusing on the kids individually and them. Social nature learning, number 3 at 12, tied with horizontal connections. So that getting that cross-curricular action and casting that big wide net over many subjects and many areas. That's great for the students. Then there's a big drop off and goes all the way down to emotions are integral for learning, assessment for learning, and stretching for all students. So those three came in way behind the field, but the race in the top four was pretty impressive. And I agree with having those ones at the top. I think that's how our learning, or our teaching practices should kind of focus on those top four. So this is a good exercise. Apologize for the dogs and the informality of it all, but that's the end of the 7 Principles of Learning podcast. Thank you for joining me, and thanks for the course, Mark. Take care. Bye.